Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're all going to be investigators trying to figure out and deduce where are those thieves. See, those thieves are going to be going around the bank and different places around town, stealing money, causing havoc, and we're trying to catch them and make money and be the best investigator. Now, today we're looking at Stop Thief. This is from Restoration Games. It is for 2 to 4 players. This game originally came out in 1979. Well, it's just been redone in 2017, new with an app and new ways to play, modernized mechanisms. Today we're doing a rule school. I am going to teach you how to set up and play the game rule for rule so you can get to the fun faster. Without further ado, let's get started. Stop Thief is a family level 2 to 4 player deduction game where you're trying to get the most money by catching thieves. An app helps run the thief around to different places, giving you clues about where they are. Investigators will be playing movement cards and moving different spots, sometimes through windows with special abilities. They'll be trying to arrest the thief using the app. They'll also be getting private tips through the app. Different thieves are worth different amounts, and they all have different abilities which hinder or help you whether you catch them or whether you don't. You might hear outdoor sounds and run yourself from the subway to the other side of the board to try to catch the thief. And after playing your movement cards, certain ones allow you to pick up all your cards in your hand to reuse the cards you'd like. Which investigator are you going to choose? Because they all play a little bit differently. There's 6 different investigators you can possibly be in the game. Here's 3 of them. We have Drake, John, and Tad. Here they're all separated by their ID card, their movement cards, and their meeple with the same color. Select one of these and put the ID card in front of you and have the cards put right in your hand. The other possible investigators are Sandra, Pepper, and Vivian. Any investigators not used in this game can be put back in the box with its meeple and its cards. Each of the characters are quite different. Their cards will have them move and have different special abilities. For example, Tad, on 2 different cards, can move all the way up to 12 spaces, where Vivian has 2 cards where she can go through windows. In this case, we're playing with 3 players, and all the starting players will place their meeples on the 500 center spot on the board. This is a subway denoted by the circle around the 500. Separate out the currency into 2 piles, 5,000 and 1,000, and then give each investigator $3,000 to start the game. You'll shuffle up the thief deck and turn over the top thief, and this is Eugene Ryder. So what this says is when he's captured, rewards 11,000 if you haven't caught a thief yet, otherwise the reward is 8,000. So in the first round of the game, no one's caught a thief yet, so it's worth 11,000 to everybody. You'll download the Restoration Games app from the Apple's App Store, Google Play, or Amazon. Once you've downloaded it, just launch it and you'll select Stop Thief to choose the game. At the top, you'll select New Game. And then you'll select Stop Thief. It also tells you who is first. This is random every time. First player is the one with the shortest name. It also has game difficulty. The standard game shows you that the thief will always go through doors and windows, will never ride the subway, and will never stay in the same place. But if you change into different levels, it will tell you how the thief acts differently. But let's select the standard and we'll say Start Game. So first we'll see that there has been a crime committed at the U.S. Trust Bank. The object of the game is to get a certain amount of money by catching thieves, depending on the number of players as shown here above. And you'll be catching these thieves in one of the 4 main areas of the board shown in the different quadrants of the board. The ad told us that the thief struck at the Trust U.S. Bank, of course, which is right here, and they always strike at one of these red crime scene markers. So we know that the thief has started in one of those spots. Now, each turn goes through 3 different phases. The first one is Get a Clue. So the first player is going to click Get a Clue. It's the big red one on the bottom. So there you have gotten an audible and a visual clue. If you want to see it again, you click Replay Clue. And that was a door opening. Now we just heard a door and we know that the thief started on a crime scene spot. Now the thief always moves from numbers to numbers. They never move on these spots in the middle. That's where the investigators move. The investigators will be moving on these different spots, including the numbered spots. The thief moves just on the numbered spots in the game. Now in this case, we heard a door. So he could have started here and he might be right here. Or he could have started here and been on one of these 2 doors. or it could be here and now in this door. There's many different ways that they could have gone. So that's all we know at this point. Now in the standard game, the thief can and will go through windows. They won't ever double back, meaning going to one spot and then going directly back to another spot. Also, if they go to a door or a window, they always go to the next room. They don't come back. The thief will sometimes stay in the same space, but the app will let us know that's what they've done. If the thief goes outside, you'll hear outside noises and it will let us know. And if they go to the subway, they can go through those or land on those like normal, but they won't use the subway, which we'll talk about in just a moment. And if the thief revisits or goes to any of the crime scene markers, it will let us know, and it will have us put another $1,000 on the thief. After receiving a clue, that player will play a card. These are all the cards that they start with. Let's say they're all in Vivian's hand. She'll select one of these. Let's say she selects the number 11. She will place this face up. All these would be in their hand, and we're going to go up to 11 spaces. Now, since the investigators move on every spot, including unnumbered and numbered, they follow the footpaths. They do not have to go in the direction that the footpaths lead. They could go either direction as long as they stay on a footpath. They start in the subway, which is denoted by this little circle. They can go to another subway. Those are located at the different corners of the board, but if they do use the subway, go there, they must end their movement. However, if they have special actions on their card that allow them to continue the move, they can do that. We'll go over some of those later. Now, normally, the investigators cannot move through windows unless they have a special card that says they can. So she's going to go 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I am adjacent to this door. If you're adjacent or on top of something like a door or a spot, you can then try to catch the criminal. So optionally, you don't have to, we can try to make an arrest. And Vivian's going to try to do that. They'll click make an arrest. They'll type in the number. The door that she thinks he's at is 444. So we'll go in here, we'll type it in, we'll confirm, and they're dispatching officers. Well, I didn't catch the thief, so I have to pay $1,000 to the bank. And then the turn's over and you'd hand the device to the next player, they'd hit continue, and then they would get a clue. So there we had footsteps. So they went from a crime scene to a door to footsteps. Now Tad's turn, and he's going to play a card. He's going to move up to 8. So Tad's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and stay right there. Try to arrest at 423 because it could have went crime scene, door, and then footsteps. All right, so click make arrest. Here we go 423. We'll see. Nope, wrong. They paid $1,000 to the bank. Go to the next player. We get a clue. It said add $1,000 to the reward because he's at another crime scene. Pepper's going to play a card that lets her move up to 10. So maybe Pepper goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ends up right there, but does not want to guess. It's back to Vivian again. She gets a clue. And we have another door. Now there's a couple of spots the thief could be. Vivian thinks the thief might be right next to her. She played her 11 card last round, and now she's going to play her 3 card, which is before moving, get a private tip. So she'll click get a private tip. Only she will be able to see this. Yes, get a private tip. And when you're done, you can tap here so others don't see 444. Now this is perfect for her because she thought that he might be there, and he is. So she's going to use her 3 just to kind of move right there. And now she's going to arrest him at 444. All right, collect the reward. And then you say, did the thief get caught enough to win the game? You'd say click yes or no. So she would collect the money. We have $11,000 because it was the first thief she had caught, plus the extra $1,000 that was on Eugene because he went back to another crime scene. To start a new round, you discard the thief and get a new one from the deck. And the next thief is Elliot. If you catch Elliot, you get to take the first turn after the thief after this strikes, and you'd get $7,000. And before moving on, you can watch the replay by pressing watch replay at the top there. And once you've gotten out of that and you go to the next round, you'll see where the next thief hits. Sometimes it's the same building. In this case, it's the Museum of Modern Antiquity. And then you would just start over again. The next player in turn order would be able to go in this case. And this continues until someone has collected the thief and has enough to win, and then they press yes at the bottom, saying they have enough. There you have it. You've won. There's also other ways to play the game. You can click New Game, go Other Ways to Play, and you can see Retro. This actually will allow you to play the game as if you're playing the original board from the 1979 version of Stop Thief. Now a few more points on moving. You can move through other investigators, but you cannot end your turn on another spot where there is one. Let's say Pepper wants to get to this subway. She can move on using her card to the subway station, and then once she gets there, she can move to any one of the four corners of the board that has a subway, but she must stop her movement. Now you've seen movement cards being played and they stay face up, all the other cards in your hand. So how do you get your cards back? Well, everybody has a card. Usually it's their lowest number. They're going to have one that says, at the end of your turn, pick up all your movement cards. So you'll still get to move up to 2, and then you'll get to pick these up into your hand. And here are some of the special movement cards from some of the other investigators. From left to right, during your move, the first 3 spaces outside are free. During your move, you can move onto or through windows. Before moving, take $1,000 from another investigator. And before moving, you may also move the investigator another 4 spaces. I hope this helped you dive right into Stop Thief and get to the fun quicker. Now, if you still have rule questions, there's a link in the description of this video. If you click there and post your question in that spot, I'll be notified, and so will the publisher, so we can all try to help you out and answer your questions.